Really proud of our football team. When you play the defending, NFC conference champions, and you're signing up for a 12-round heavyweight fight. We've talked a lot about things like play style. We've talked a lot about how we want to play as a football team, regardless of who we're playing. I really want those things to show up because we've made such an emphasis on it. We've really built our team around it this year. There's a lot of examples all over the tape, but first and foremost, I want to start out and just really thank our crowd. I thought it was absolutely spectacular. The energy from the jump when we needed them in the third quarter, converting some of those third downs on that last long drive for the field goal. You just kind of felt them willing us further and further to go get this thing done. So I want to compliment our crowd. Absolutely love our fans. And I love this team. You guys, it takes a result sometimes for people to see it, and I understand that. And I'm very proud of this result today. But it is just one game against a really good team. But I'm most proud of what led into this football game. There's a lot of individual performances we could talk about, and I'm sure we will. But this was the epitome of building a football team with a mindset through many, many months ago of what we wanted to play like, how we want to battle, and ultimately how we want to come together and find a way to win a football game. Thought our defense was fantastic. Thought our O-linemen, guys that had been a little banged up throughout the week, battling, rushing over what ended up being 6 yards a carry, 6.1, just phenomenal against that defensive front. And couldn't stop without mentioning Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold. Jets just would have loved to have him for the whole football game. Got knocked out there. I'll give you guys an update on him here in a little bit, but I'd like to finish with Sam Darnold against his former team. Just the amount of work that goes into that position on your quarterback journey when everybody decides that you cannot play. We always believed in him, and felt awesome to watch him go do that thing. So I'm really proud of Sam Darnold.
Kevin, when you're talking about play style all offseason, how much is it in the back of your mind that you see this team?
You know it's coming. They're on the schedule, and they literally are. I give Kyle, his whole coaching staff, and all those players so much credit for what they've been able to sustain for so long, and they do it by playing football the right way and imposing their will on opponents. And this team that's a fantastic football team. If you want to go anywhere in this league, especially in our conference, we know it's proven last year and a few before that it's going to be a team on your schedule, whether they were on it initially or not. You're going to eventually have to play them. We just got to get the first crack at them in week 2. But I can't say enough about what Kyle does. That organization, John Lynch, they do everything the right way. And you're signing up for everything you possibly can give on a Sunday afternoon at US Bank Stadium when you welcome them to town. If you can't tell, I'm absolutely exhausted. I know our team is. That's what this is all about. But I love this football team already, just because of, it might seem early, but there's so much that went into this up until today's performance.
Kevin, that last drive by Sam, no Justin, no Jordan,
Yep.
No TJ.
Yep. He's playing quarterback and playing it at a really high level. Some huge third down conversions. We were able to kind of piece together some plays there. A lot of guys taking reps. I want to highlight Keenan McCardell and that receiver group because we're already down Jordan. We're already down TJ. Plays are built with number 18, as a focal point. We got a lot of double coverage today on him, and he was still able to have his impact. But then when he goes down, there's so many moving, it's musical chairs. I rely on those guys in that moment to try to piece together some plays on the fly there, and I thought that was only for a field goal, but I thought it was our biggest drive of the day for sure.
Can you give us a preliminary update on Jefferson?
I can, yeah. So it was a quad contusion. I think Fred Warner might have went flying in to make a play like he does a lot, and Justin was, I think, working in the run game on the backside. And, just kind of got not a intentional, but just kind of got a little leg-to-leg contact on that. So it's pretty sore, but he's already up and moving, and we'll just treat that thing, and hopefully he'll be day-to-day, and we'll see how his, status looks for next week.
What's more impressive?
Yeah, Dallas Turner, I'll just, just to update, late there, felt a little thing in his knee. We think it we'll have to evaluate it, but more than likely not going to be something I don't think will be long-term, but always careful to, over-analyze. You guys know this. I'm certainly not a doctor, so I'm just going off of the updates quickly there, but it did happen late. But we'll keep you guys updated throughout the week.
Take through the two big throws. Well, I know you probably made more. The long touchdown to Jefferson, also the back shoulder down the middle to. Which is more impressive to you as a quarterback's coach?
The 97-yarder was one of the prettiest throws I've seen. Just something that it actually goes back to a look we ran on them last year. Similar kind of presentation, similar everything. That one's been in the hopper for a little bit, and did not know I would call it. Backed up, with our feet in the paint like that. Great protection in that moment. Elite execution by both Speedy. I think Speedy would have been a long hit as well, depending on who Sam chose, and he chose the right one, launching that thing as pretty as a throw as I've seen, especially in those circumstances. And then Speedy's play style finish to go get the block to get Justin in the end zone. So many examples of just really awesome stuff by our guys. And then the other throw, I'm glad you asked about that. That's a throw that a quarterback makes. And if he doesn't make that one, don't know where that ball's going. We were kind of letting Speedy take the middle on that thing. He's got to read coverage and presents itself, and Sam put it in the only place you could. That is big-time quarterback play for all those folks out there that want some examples of it. I think we got 2 weeks of some pretty tangible examples of some quarterback play from Sam Darnold. I'm really proud of him.
Kevin, when that 97-yard play is in the air, what are you thinking?
Man, it seemed like it was in the air forever. So you're just hoping, once I saw the look pre-snap, I'm not a big throw my hands up in the air when the ball goes up if I think I have something, but I was pretty darn close on that one, just knowing we got the look, the great execution, great protection, and just, finding Justin like that in a moment where we really need a play to kind of reset the whole game, and I thought the fact that we were able to get the lead and then not give it back was real credit to our guys.
Yeah, and just how important is Justin's ability to finish there? Doesn't get tackled at the 35, doesn't get pushed out at the 5.
Yeah.
He scores. Like how?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's over 400 receptions, 6,000 yards now. Tied for the fastest, I think, ever to do it. Justin Jefferson is an amazing football player, but he's an even larger competitor. And I always know, I can see the look in his eye. I always know when it's go time. And he sees coverage. I know there's a lot of great players in this league, but without Jordan and TJ right now, Justin's going to see a healthy amount of defenders around him, especially on those weighty downs. Almost had Speedy for a touchdown there on the third down early in the game based upon how they had the double on Justin, and we were just a little maybe a little late, maybe a little soft with the throw, but there's just so many times, and that's where I want to credit Sam, because you can't really prepare a guy for coverages sometimes that you see. We didn't, we anticipated it. It's not something that they've shown a lot of, but I always kind of know in my back pocket that we're going to see the Justin Jefferson coverages, and really going on, 2 years and 2 games now, it's been something that we've all grown kind of working through, and like I said, just the execution by Jets alone is fantastic, and so fortunate to coach him.
Hey, Kevin, the end of the last drive of the first half, Sam just had the interception, and then you just being aggressive and still going after points there. Is it just another sign of the trust that you have that you just kind of get ready?
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure that they didn't touch it again. So we kind of huddled there in the middle, and kind of I was hoping for 3 on the drive if we could get it. And knowing we were getting the ball coming out of half, and we didn't we went 3 and out to start the half, kind of a weird intentional grounding there on the second down. But I just thought that was a big example of Sam, just one play at a time. He threw an interception, tried to force it over the best linebacker in football, who sometimes can look like he's 7 feet tall out there. Might have had Jets on the backside, but it'll be a great learning example of just quarterback play. There's nothing wrong with, forcing yourself to say no sometimes on a look where it wasn't the intended look, and maybe we got to progress and just put the ball in play. Loved our screen execution with the chance to put the game away, and Aaron Jones is right behind C.J. Ham as somebody who I totally trust with the football in his hands, and he's just sniffing the goal line right there. And who was it again? Fred Warner, popping that play out. When you're an all-pro, you're going to be making plays all over the field, and he certainly did that to help keep them in the game when we had a chance to maybe stretch that lead a little more.
Kevin, when you're taking that shot on the 97-yarder there from your own end zone, like you mentioned, what goes into that as a play caller saying, I have a look here, but when I'm this backed up, do I still go to the same thing?
There's some self-talk that goes into that, Ben. There's definitely some self-talk of understanding it's the momentum of the opportunity is there for both teams when your heels are in the paint like that, not even, snapping the ball and really I think we're, 3-yard line. So you're relying on a lot of people, a lot of time on task to trust 11 guys to go execute kind of a designer kind of play like that. Just huge play for our team.
Kevin, Pat Jones comes into the season as maybe your third or fourth outside linebacker. I mean, he's got 4 sacks in 2 weeks. What does that say about him and then just the depth of
I think the depth of that room, Mike Pettin coaching those guys up with Amarje. Flo understands what he's got. I mean, Van Ginkel almost ended the game on another one, just kind of sniffing out, what their answer might be to the pressure look down there in the red zone. And every single guy in that room I look at as a guy that can start and play every snap if we needed him to. We just have the luxury. Quay's put together a roster where we got a bunch of those guys that can all play, and we're really using those guys. And I want to credit Flo for how he's using them. Cash had a huge game, green dotting us. IP was physical all day long. And that's a tough outfit to defend, for 4 quarters. And, I know we had 7.5 yards per play offensively, but we still only had 54 plays, either short field when we convert that interception into the touchdown. It's a 1-play drive. And then, the block punt, we're right back on the field and find a way to get some points there. So those guys have been on the field for a little bit more snaps than I'd like. We got to continue to grow from a ball possession standpoint, but that's probably the hardest team in the league to do that with. But our goal coming in the game was to break even or better on the turnover margin. I think we're now 19-0 in the regular season when we do that. That shows you it can be a winning formula when you pair that with what we want our play style to look like.
Did you have a good look at the interception that kind of pinballed all around?
Yeah, I did. I got a good look at that fumbled punt, too. I saw that ball all over the place as well. That's what good football teams, 2 good football teams. I told our team last night, I think we're a really good football team. And although others might be talking about us potentially and whatever that means, you can tell a lot of jokes about potential versus reality. I know that, but this football team is not a joke. I expect our team to continue to prepare the same way. I expect us to go out there and systematically build game plans and execute them, and in the end, compete our tails off every single week with those principles that we've built this team around. And it's only going to get harder. The journey's going to get difficult. We're going to be punched in the mouth a lot along the way. We got to be ready to overcome adversity. But there's absolutely no group that I would rather do that with than the coaches and players in that locker room.
What did you think you were getting from Cashman when you signed him in the offseason, and what are you seeing in the reality? It seems like he's all over the place.
Yeah, great. Athleticism, burst, speed, flies around, instinctive, good cover player, good tackler. And what we've really expected coming in and what he's confirmed is great communicator. That is not an easy job. In fact, both of our green dots on offense with Sam and Cash on defense, Flo and I, we're doing a lot of things. There's a lot of things where we're checking things or getting to different personnel groupings, offense, defense. The communication I thought was elite to go along with the elite effort by our crowd today to make it extra difficult on those guys. And we want to play well at home, and we've got a tough home schedule. But to have our defense humming and playing like that, and then piece it together with how we want to play offensively, really good start here at US Bank Stadium. Thank you.